A man who chases difficulty at every available moment will have an easy life. A man who chooses comfort and avoids doing difficult things will have a very difficult life. The reality is that it is going to take some sacrifice, it is going to take some pain to get the life that you want. There's no getting around that. And trying to get around that, trying to take shortcuts, is a sign that you are not a person who really wants the things that he says he wants, or indeed you are not a person who deserves what he says he wants, because there is a form of struggle that is actually good. There is a form of pain, there is a form of difficulty that is actually just and right. Anything worth going after, anything worth having, is valued because it is difficult to attain. It is valued because it takes struggle to have that thing or own that place or run that business. And therefore, people who aren't willing to do that work will never attain those things. People who aren't willing to embrace the difficulty, embrace the struggle, embrace the pain sometimes, will never get their hands on it. And truthfully, they don't deserve it. Now, you got to ask yourself, are you content with your current situation? Are you content with your life as it is today? If you died tomorrow, would you have a feeling within yourself that at this current moment you have done everything that you could do, everything within your power to progress you towards your goals? 99% of you are going to say no. And that's okay, because we don't expect tomorrow to be our last day. And in all honesty, there's always more that can be done. There are always moments where we can look back and say that we should have gone left and we went right. There was a bit of work that we could have done that we didn't do. We chose to do something else. We chose to dedicate our time elsewhere. I don't expect you to have a perfect answer. I don't expect you to not look back with maybe some regret about moments where you chose to dedicate your time. But hopefully, tomorrow isn't going to be your last day. Hopefully, you've got many, many more days. The reason I asked you that question, though, is because it's going to get you thinking about your current standing. It's going to get you thinking a little bit about the decisions that you are making on a day-to-day basis. Life sometimes can be tragically short. And although we sit here, we engage with algorithms, we watch YouTube videos, we entertain ourselves, we go day by day just thinking that tomorrow's going to come, sometimes for some people that's not the reality. And I would say if you have goals and serious ambitions and things that you want to do, serious things that you want to achieve, consider whether or not right now you are on path to do that. If there are tough decisions to be made and you are not making them, why are you not making them? If there is struggle to engage in for a greater cause, why are you not struggling? Why are you not doing the hard work? Why are you not chasing that pain? Because on the other side of that pain are all the things that you want. Yes, in the short term, when you're trying to start something new, maybe a new business for the first time ever, maybe you're in a new job, a completely new profession, maybe you've started up a channel, there is going to be a time where you're putting in a lot of work and the results aren't coming. And you start to sit there and question what's going on. You start to sit there and say, well, hang on, I'm putting in all these hours and I've got no results. And some parts of you can start to think, maybe this isn't worth it. But the most successful men that are in the history books, that will be in the history books, if they're not already, when they arrive to those moments, they go back to the drawing board and they think about the long-term future. They think about the long-term goal, and then they carry on because they understand the importance of going through that pain. They understand that on the other side of this pain, there is victory. On the other side of that pain, there are rewards. If success was easy, it wouldn't be valued. It happens to be that it's incredibly difficult. And subsequently, as it's incredibly difficult, there aren't many men that ever really make it to achieve the things that they want to achieve. They get distracted. They allow life to take over. They give up. Their focus drifts. There can be many reasons. But do you want to be one of those men? Or do you want to be one of the men who was so consistent? He was so okay with putting himself in difficult situations, situations that were painful, situations that forced him to be accountable, that forced him to grow, that forced him to look in the mirror, and then subsequently won. Do you want to be that guy? I'd say 99% of you are going to say the answer is yes. And if the answer is yes, then, well, now we have a very, very simple answer. We have a very, very simple plan to follow, a simple structure. You need to ensure that from now on, your actions and your words are in alignment. And this simply means that if you say you are going to do something, you do it. If you say that you want to achieve something and you put it out there, don't you dare let yourself down. Get it done. Show up day in and day out. When you are working on those goals and it is getting painful and you are getting frustrated, go back to the drawing board. Remember why you started. Keep that motivation fresh in your mind. When it feels tough and when you're not seeing signs that you're winning and you're putting in all this effort, that is a sign to go harder. That is a sign to do more. That is a sign to push further. Don't forget somebody else has the same plan as you. Somebody else has the same ambition. That lovely house that you've been looking at, they're looking at it as well. That beautiful car that you've been thinking about, they're looking at it as well. I don't know you and I don't know your motivations, so it doesn't need to be materialistic. You can frame this in the context of your own life and put your own perspective on it. But rest assured, somebody else wants what you want. And the only way that you are going to get what you want is by controlling what you can control. Your work ethic. How you use your time. Blocking out distractions. Being accountable with yourself. And not avoiding necessary work. Going after difficulty, chasing difficulty, pursuing pain. I'm not talking about physical pain, obviously, but I'm talking about doing things that are going to stress you, doing things that are going to challenge you, because on the other side of those things will be great rewards, the rewards that you are looking for. When you start covering all those boxes and you start doing all of those things, that is when the results will come, but it's not going to be quick. And this generation has an issue when people talk about quick success and explaining it for what it is. A lot of you guys don't like it, but the reality is when you try and rush success, when you try and just get as much money as possible, as quick as possible, by hopping from one thing to the next, trying to be an opportunist, that's where you become a jack of all trades. That's where you never really become an expert at anything, because you never give anything the necessary time to become an expert at it. And it's a form of avoidance. It's trying to get success quickly because you don't want to do the real work. And that will catch up with you, because people that try and do that often lose everything they've ever won. People that get rich really, really quick off one thing. They got lucky on crypto. People that win the lottery. There's so many different studies, there's so many different historical examples of that money just going to the pot. That money just disappearing. But when you struggle, and when you go after pain, and when you go after something difficult, and you stick at it for years, that is where you get what you want. Because you understand the value of what you have built. And you learn how to manage it, and you learn how not to mess things up. And look, if quick success happens to fall on your lap, and you do win the lottery, and something surprisingly good does come into your life, it's not your fault, you're not a bad person, you take it, you enjoy it. You be sensible with it. But there are a lot of guys who are making that their ambition. I just want to get rich quick. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. 99% of the time it does not work. And if you don't like that, then maybe this channel isn't for you. If you don't like that, you don't like the hard answer, the hard truth, that it's gonna take time, then maybe you need to go and watch someplace else where they talk about this kiddie stuff. But for the real men watching this video right now who are serious about having a good life, who are serious about getting things done, who are serious about turning the ship around, then the formula for prolonged, sustained success is chasing difficulty. It's chasing pain. It's chasing things that push you. Chasing things that almost break you sometimes, but that you know that if you do them, you're going to be a better man, a more skilled man, a more capable man on the other side. And then that's where you start to win. And it just compounds and compounds and compounds and compounds. Consistency will unlock everything. But if you are scared of difficulty and you avoid pain, you're never ever going to build up the consistency that is necessary to get the life you want. So now it's decision time. Do you want to stay where you are? Do you want to keep the life you have right now, or do you want to turn things around? Do you want to start holding yourself accountable and building towards the life that you want and running towards the pain rather than away from it? It's up to you. Anyway, if you took some value, consider leaving a like on this video. If you are new around here, also consider subscribing to the channel. Makes a big difference. I'm only a small channel, but every single one of you that does subscribe helps to push me out to YouTube's wider audience, so I would appreciate that. And look, if you are, just somebody who wants to share your thoughts on this topic as well, comment your thoughts down below. I'd be really interested to hear what you've got to say. As always, guys, thank you for your time and your attention, and I will see you in the next one.